Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're here. We had a couple of years back, we had some of our ash trees dying around the property here, so we started to question what was going on with them. I made a couple phone calls, and today we have a Minnesota DNR representative coming out to look at our trees and give us an idea of what's going on. We're wondering if it's emerald ash borer, but we're not sure what it is, so we'll bring you along today and see what we can find out about what is getting into our trees and what we can do about it.
Oh, yeah.
So all these, yeah.
All of the elm there.
Yeah, that's an elm and that's dying. So we're like, what kind of, and then there's holes in those too.
Yeah, yep. The elm, that's going to be Dutch elm disease, and once they, that lives in the root structure. So once the trees kind of reach about this size, really commonly what we see is they, start to decline, and then insects move in, birds move in.
Okay.
Yeah, and particularly when you have a grove of elm, like a little elm swale, similar to ash swale, that's more commonly where you'll see a lot of them at this stage.
So that's an elm.
Yep.
That's it. I'm correct.
That's an elm.
There, right? Are those all elm?
That's an elm right there. Yeah.
The bigger tree.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Which it surprises me that this one is failing and this one is doing just fine.
The top. So like on those others there, see the tops died last year.
Oh yeah.
So the tops are starting to die on those.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty common. Kind of surprises me that that one is doing so well. It might have a little bit of resistance, so that would be a good thing. Yeah. This is also an elm, so and they do maybe look a little similar. Over there, you see it? So the branches and the fine twigs, they're pretty hardy looking and a little thicker. Even there's like a blunt.
You're talking about this one right here.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The twigs, to the very end, and then it's very blunt when it ends, and the buds at the end are very big and thick. And like the elm has a lot of like very fine branches like this. And the ash, typically, they're fairly straight and minimal branching, and elm has a lot more branching. Some of them can grow straight, but like your ones in the yard, they have a lot more kind of a rounder shape up top.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are, of course, the box elder.
Yeah. The box elder sprouting. But yeah, these are little ash sprouts.
Okay.
Yeah. The ends are always just very blunt. Yeah, for most of it. You can see the deer, and the deer like to eat them, so they've been nibbling away at them.
The deer like to eat everything.
Yeah. Did you guys plant any white spruce, or is that natural?
We
planted, yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing, especially in these areas that are inundated with water seasonally. And we are watching the ash, so diversifying the stand and planting something that will just keep water pumping is good.
We were thinking, when we planted them, we were thinking for somewhat of a windbreak and then some soil stabilization on the hillside here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So it's mostly, it is these trees that are all...
It's elm. It's going to be Dutch elm disease. That's pretty much how they all die.
Okay.
Oh, my phone's so on. Yeah.
So know your trees.
Yeah. They grow in similar places and they can have a similar appearance. You'll probably see what's most notable, the leaves are very different in the summer. multiple on one stem, and these are just kind of singles, and the leaf is very rough on top, and it's got a serrated edge, a lot of teeth on the edge, and those are smoother looking. They have like very small teeth, but yeah, they grow together a lot. They like water, they do well, they pump a lot of water, so it doesn't surprise me that you have Elm and Ashen here.
That's the good news.
Yeah, and also like the aspen species are, well, this one's quaking, but some of the ones that have like a grayer bark and a more rough appearance.
Down below there.
Yeah. Those are more than likely a balmogiliad or balsam poplar.
Yep.
Yep. Which you find these three growing together all the time. They all like the water. They all like these like clay soils.
So I should just take these down then.
Yeah. Yep. There's, like elm used to be a very popular urban tree because it provides a lot of shade,
Yeah.
and Dutch elm disease came through in the 90s, and some cities and municipalities put in a lot of money like severing the roots in between the trees so that the disease didn't carry through the roots, but it was a big cost and a lot of heavy equipment and a lot of like specialized equipment. And it's more difficult in a forested setting to do that. You're dealing with a lot of neighbors.
Right.
Yeah, this one has a big frost crack.
Pretty good split.
Yeah. I'm sure, yeah, frost crack, which with it being exposed to the road and maybe southerly winds, it's just a little too cold. Cracked, and then the bugs moved in. Yeah, even down here, if there was a bark beetle, you'd be able to see those feeding galleries, but I don't see anything like that. So it could just be ants and then birds, probably squirrels soon, and they'll just burrow away in there. You might have a good chance to see a pileated woodpecker.
They're around.
Yeah.
See them once in a while.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. You're out there, the jack pine. I'm sure those are pretty much as big as we see them get, and then they start to decline.
Yeah, that jack pine there is huge.
Yeah, that one's doing really well. Yeah. Yeah, there used to be a lot more of them on the landscape, but they didn't really put the effort in to reforest them after the cutover in the turn of the century.
We get some sprouts, some jack pine sprouts around here.
Yeah.
But unless we cage them right away,
Oh,
the
deer
will eat the tops right off.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah, they're nice and tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough getting conifers to grow sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah, the deer
Oaks as well. We planted some bur oaks to try to get a few of those around, and those had to be caged right away.
Oh, I'm
they just
sure.
nipped them all off.
Yeah. So a little balsam fir here has really took a hit underneath. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, but it looks like you're getting a lot of good volunteers of white spruce. That's promising. It can be tough, yeah.
I'm glad you came out. 'Cause
Yeah, no, and I have
helped me understand what we're looking at for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're aware of like the different, they break Minnesota up into these different ecosystems. So you're at the very edge of the Little Fork Vermilion Uplands down in here. And we did these landowner books. And it just goes through landscape level things. It'll talk a lot about kind of your clay soils, heavy to aspen, white spruce, and it goes into some climate change stuff and kind of similar to your projects over here. Oh, here I think that's a white spruce. No, that's eastern larch beetle. Yeah. Yes, eastern large beetle. There we go. It's a tamarack. Yeah, the other thing to look at, you do have some tamarack back there. So this one is a bark beetle, and only eats tamarack, but again, it burrows under the bark, and the larva.
We do have one tree back here that all the bark is gone. It looks like that.
All the bark's sloughed off, and it's like it just is a big pile at
Yep.
the base of it. Yeah, that's eastern large beetle. That's a native pest, so at least it's not an invasive. But with the shorter winters and longer breeding season for them and higher temperatures, they can reproduce more. So we've just seen this boom of eastern large beetle. And if you go over into like Coochin County or further west from here, where you have bigger stands of pure tamarack, it has taken a pretty hard hit.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see on the air photo just these big spots of gray, and it's all dead tamarack. But they've done some research about regeneration, and it might take a while for the tamarack to regenerate, maybe like up to 20 years, but it does come back. The big thing is, once those big mature trees die, that affects the hydrology of the site, and the water table comes up, and then it makes it really hard for any tree to succeed with all that extra water. So something like this, if there was more tamarack than that, maybe your adjacent stands would feel the effects. We see a lot of like pine dieback, white spruce once that water table comes up. Yeah, and it's just a matter of waiting and the right series of events to line up to get something seeded in and pumping water again. But yeah, this goes into landscape level things. I'll teach you some new vocabulary, and there's some like management strategies in there too. And then there's all our emerald ash borer stuff. But yeah, we rely on site visits like this to kind of get a good idea of what's going on and what people are seeing. So obviously it's a lot of land to cover.
Yeah.
And more than likely where it's going to be established are residential areas adjacent to ash. All it takes is one person bringing up firewood from the cities, and
Right.
we have a big problem on our hands. But yeah, the good thing to do, like with your white spruce, is diversifying those stands, getting something in there that grows in a similar habitat type. Your elm that are showing resistance, that would be a really good one to plant in there. White spruce, even some hardwoods like bur oak, those pump a lot of water.
Yep.
We've done some climate adaptation planting with silver maple and some hardwoods from more southern zones, and they do well. And especially on your riparian riverbank stands, silver maple does really well. It's kind of a neat tree. Pumps a lot of water, which is good.
Yeah, we've had good luck with the oaks, with
Yeah.
the bur oaks we planted. We probably planted 40 bur oaks around the clock.
Yeah,
They've done
like that.
pretty well.
okay.
If they're caves.
Yeah. Yes. Where do you guys get your trees?
I'm trying to think of the Coldstream Nursery.
Okay, from a
Yeah.
nursery. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the nurseries obviously do some trees, but the Soil and Water District, I want to say, or St. Louis
Yeah,
County.
we
they-
did
got
get
some
some
last year?
some pines
Was it
last
last
year.
year?
Yep.
Yeah.
But it was a real poor. They came late, and it was dry in the spring.
Oh,
and a lot
really?
of them, I had a tough time getting them to survive because it was so
Yeah.
dry.
Yeah. Yeah.
We kind of missed the window when we should have got them in the ground, I think.
Oh yeah, it can be tough. Even it's very fast paced for us in the spring when the planters come and we're out taking the temperature in the soil, and it's like a mad dash to get the trees in the water in the soil at a good time, and then hope it rains right
Right.
away.
I think we planted 75 white spruce
Yes.
Yeah.
last year. Yeah.
It's a good amount. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a manageable amount. Tree
Yeah.
planting is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, with those crews, the crews that come up, and they're mostly from Mexico or Central America, and they just do these contracts, tree planting contracts. They can plant like 40,000 trees in a day.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Kind of depending on the site, but yeah, it's impressive. Yeah.
So it's the next day, finishing up our video on tree issues on the property. We had Victoria from the forestry department come out and go through everything, and one of the big takeaways was the identifying each tree that we had. And some of the trees that we thought were ash trees were actually elm trees, and it turns out that we have Dutch elm's disease in a lot of our elm trees, so we're gonna end up taking those down. Probably put them on the mill, I think, is what we'll do with them, but we're not real sure what elm could be used for. If anybody knows uses for elm, go ahead and put it in the comments. But we'll end up taking it out. There's not much we can do with it. Most of the trees are dying or dead already. So thanks for watching the video, guys. If you like this video, like, share, or subscribe to our channel. Until next time, keep on living the good life.